Warning, warning, the battle dads are not okay. This is not a drill. War is imminent. If the copium masks drop from the overhead compartment, please fit yours properly before assisting others. In the event of an unfortunate case of diarrhea of the mouth, suppositories will be given to you immediately to prevent spreading.
Good grief, he's naked!
No shirt, no shoes, no service!
Hey guys, certainly been a while. I want to apologize for taking such a long break. Life's been pretty hectic lately, and I haven't really been able to mentally dedicate myself to making videos. Anyways, in the meantime, like a lot of you, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6. My thoughts? Overall, I think it's a solid game, and probably the most stable launch I've ever experienced when it comes to a Battlefield game. It's safe to say that with the Steam charts hovering somewhere between 300 and 500,000 people online at any given moment, the game has been a resounding success. And a lot of people seem to really like it despite its flaws. However, a lot of the flaws I've been hearing people talk about online have a lot less to do with the gameplay itself and more to do with, well, everything else. The internet seems to be completely divided on it regardless. A lot of people seem to be split between the game feeling too much like Call of Duty and are hypersensitive to any sort of slightly flamboyant or flashy skins that pop up in the store, or even how the color grading is awful. On the other hand, we have people who care about the real issues the game seems to have, like the maps being god-awful for the most part, and Bloom being extremely inconsistent and annoying. Safe to say, I'm in the latter camp, and just like any good law-abiding member of an internet hive mind, I think the other side is plagued with a vocal minority of smooth-brained idiots who have nothing better to do than complain on Reddit because they aren't getting exactly what they want from the game they didn't help create. Okay, not all of them, but definitely some of the ones on r/Battlefield. Once again, it's safe to say the battle dads are not okay. So, today, we're going to take a trip into the subreddit to see just what all the fuss is about. Yeah, I know, making a video complaining about people complaining on Reddit is a video idea as old as YouTube itself, but I just can't help it. The r/Battlefield community is filled with some of the most pathetic, vocal, mirror-brained Karens I've ever seen. And what they're saying has devolved far below valid criticism, and it's been that way not only since Battlefield 6 was first shown, but since 2042 launched, well, at least to this extent. Oh, we're just discussing our concerns with the game. No, you're not. Discussing your concerns with the game shouldn't equate to an entire subreddit of whiny fucks complaining that their soldiers' pants have a bit too much neon green on them, or as if having a female soldier means that this is 2042 par deux. And it sucks because I actually agree with the notion that there certainly are some things that need to be fixed about the game. Like I said, Bloom and sweet spots flip-flop between making the game far too easy and making you go, there is no fucking way that shouldn't have killed you. So, let's take a look at the top posts on the subreddit for this week. Okay, so in a very boneheaded move on my part, I accidentally cropped and saved over the original post. So here is footage of the post. I found it by quoting it verbatim in Google, and this is what pops up. You click on it, it is clearly removed. There is the username, etc., etc. Just so you guys don't think I'm making this up. I really want to dissect these posts piece by piece and see if there are actually any decent points. So, the first one is called Battlefield 6 is the perfect example of how live service gaming brings out the worst in the industry. It's at almost 700 upvotes and is near the top of the subreddit on the day of recording this, November 2nd. So I've been playing Battlefield 6 for a few weeks now, and honestly, it feels like a case study in everything that's gone wrong with live service games. Okay, so he clearly has an issue with live service games. I do as well. I think it's asinine to have live service stuff in a $70 game. A case study? I don't know about that. You have your typical live service slop like a store full of skins and a secondary currency system, which is almost sure to be rigged in order to get you to spend an extra $5 because you're just oh so conveniently 100 points short. It's a shitty system, and it sucks that it's in Battlefield, but No shit, it's in Battlefield. It's in every game nowadays. I pray for the system's downfall all the time, and it's unfortunate Battlefield is following the trend. But to act as if its inclusion is some sort of blindsided sucker punch is just idiotic. This is EA we're talking about here. And if you want to talk about a case study, have you seen Skate? Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. We're loading up Skate. I haven't played in about 3 days. I'll get on, do a couple of kick flips, then get off. That's about as much fun as this game tends to give me. So we're just gonna go ahead and see what kind of shit we run into. Oh, here we go. Happy Skate-a-ween. Complete these Skate-a-ween challenges and weekly event tasks to earn chocolate coins, then hit up the Extrovert Skate-a-ween shop and spend them on exclusive merch. So right off the bat, I haven't even seen the title screen yet, and I already have an ad for the shop. Cool. Let's see what the next page is. Oh, okay. So here's the main menu. As you can see, right on the main menu, we have an advertisement for the shop, of course. We have our Skate Battle Pass, which of course we need because this is a skateboarding game, and there needs to be a battle pass with a chicken suit inside of it. Duh. Why wouldn't I think that? What is it? Skateboarding? There's no counterculture with skateboarding. No, it's all about chicken suits. Look at this shit. Let's see. What can we get? Huh. Yeah, that definitely looks like something that should be in a skate game. I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. So that's 0 for 2. We're 0 for 2 there. What is this? A sticker, which turns the skateboard into, I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be. Some sort of handheld. What am I looking at? No, like I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of stuttering here. Like genuinely, like what even is this? And that's just this is just the first page. Now let me ask you something. Where is like America? Where is Girl? Where is Element? Where is fucking... I'll take Zoomies at this point. None of this has anything to do with skateboarding, and it's literally all just generic slop that just gets stuck onto your character, which already looks like something directly out of Fortnite. Explain to me why in the hell I need to spend 150 points on a sticker of a crudely drawn bird giving me a sassy look riding a skate. Actually, you know what? That one's pretty cool. I'll let that one slide. So we've gotten all the way to the bottom of the battle pass. I haven't seen a single thing that has had anything really to do with skateboarding at all. Not a single company, nothing like that. Not a single skate company, not a single anything. And a shitty battle pass nobody wants because the devs have absolutely no idea what skateboarding is. They just said, ooh, that Fortnite game, cool, yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, so that's just the battle pass. Let's see what the store has to offer. $45 for a founder's pack where I could play as a steak. To be fair, that was like an old Easter egg in the old skate games. I do remember that. But really? $45 to play as a fucking steak? Oh, I'm sorry. Or I could pay $22.49 for a version without the steak. Wow, that steak is expensive. That shit must be Wagyu. Now let's keep going. Okay, well, is there any skate brands? Oh, Dickies, of course. Yes, this is the exact brand I think of when I think of skateboarding. Fucking Dickies. Yes, and I love saying that. That's so much fun. Does EA have some sort of sponsorship with Walmart? Like, you do realize Walmart's like the worst place to go for anything skateboard related, and that includes the skateboards. They're notoriously bad. What else we got? Extrovert. So I can look like a mix between Marty McFly and a gay mailman. Got it. Oh, here's our currency. I could pay $90. 90. Oh, no. No, we're not buying it. No. So let me get this straight. Splash screens, constant bombardments for new packs and items I didn't ask to receive in order to nudge me towards checking out the skins in the store. Totally normal. Just standard live service slop. Battlefield having a new splash screen? Oh, we're boned. The game is buried under live service garbage. What the hell are you even on about? I'll load up the game right now, and let's see how much live service slop I have to get through in order to get to a match. If the game is loaded up on live service slop, then this should take an eternity. Now, I remember this being a huge issue in the CODs post MW19. It was so annoying loading into a new season after not playing and having a stupid cutscene for stuff I really didn't care about play automatically, and it felt like COD was truly finally becoming a sellout. If you ask me, they should have just kept working on Modern Warfare 19 for a few years and fleshed it out even more. One of COD's biggest Achilles heels is having a stupid yearly release that causes them to completely ignore good titles in order to sell their next game. Modern Warfare 19 could have lasted so long. Oh, I'm in a match. Wow, look at that. Took me exactly 1 minute to get from launching the game from the desktop to loading into a round. And other than the initial splash screen marketing it as Season 1, there is not a single piece of live service slop I had to slog through in order to find a match. It's like the script writes itself, it really is. Now, admittedly, I'm not a psychic, and while there's valid concern that a game like this could end up doing all of the live service ad splash screen crap, unless OP is a psychic, this has literally no merit. Progression is locked behind time-gated challenges and FOMO events. Okay, well, here are my weekly challenges. The rewards for the entirely optional weekly challenges are quite simply Battle Pass tokens. That's it. Just fucking Battle Pass tokens. My god, somebody call the FBI. JD Vance needs to be notified that the weekly challenges are giving out Battle Pass tokens. This is clearly progression being locked. There's no way the actual things that matter, like weapon unlocks in the Battle Pass, are completely free, therefore they don't require you to spend any money, right? Oh. Well, let's just move on from that. Remember when you could just play the game and unlock stuff by playing well? Well now, it's come back every day to grind 10 headshots with a specific gun to get blank. Miss the event? Too bad. Wait for the rerun next season, if it ever happens. You know, how is it that you're somehow simultaneously against the live service shit, yet you're upset you're missing out on it because you can't get, according to you, 10 headshots in a week? Yeah, so that's that talking point thrown out of the window. The same community which hates things like skins and battle passes so much is upset they might miss out on some skins in the battle pass. Make it make sense. The in-game store gets more love than the actual maps. Every patch seems to add new content in the store, but actual content updates are slow and half-baked. It's like the devs are designing cosmetics faster than fixing bugs. Buddy, the game has been out for a month. What content updates are you talking about? How much new content do you expect to be put into a game that hasn't even been out for 30 days? I will agree, like I said before, that the maps are undeniably ass. Now to throw a bone, I was also one of the people who was on the make the maps smaller bandwagon before the game launched. But honestly, I didn't want them to make the maps this small. I wish they would have met somewhere in the middle. I don't like massive maps like Gull Mud Railway or Silk Road because it essentially just devolves into someone camping AA in the spawn, the host kill farming in the attack helicopter until he's eventually taken down and he kicks whoever killed him from the match, and running in open fields for what feels like miles. A good Battlefield map, at least to me, is somewhere in between, where there's enough space to have fun in a jet without feeling like you're spending 70% of your match just trying to find someone to kill. Big map does not automatically equal good map, much like small map does not automatically equal bad map. If that were the case, there wouldn't be dozens of Metro and Locker servers on Battlefield 3 and 4 to this very day. 10 years ago, Battlefield used to compete with COD on gameplay and innovation. Bullshit! Look, 10 years ago we had Battlefield 4, a game which before it had even launched was heavily criticized for not innovating enough on Battlefield 3, a game which was clearly influenced by Call of Duty and was criticized even back then for the beta feeling like they were just trying to get the attention of COD players by catering to them. How do you think Battlefield got weapon customization in the first place? Battlefield 2 didn't have it, and the first game in the series to have actual weapon customization was Bad Company 2, which came out at the peak of COD's golden era, right between Modern Warfare 2 and the first Black Ops. Call of Duty and Battlefield have been borrowing ideas from each other since they both gained mainstream success. This is nothing new. Battlefield being compared to COD is as old as Coke being compared to Pepsi at this point, and it's quite possibly the worst argument you could make. It's not a game anymore, it's a retention funnel. Every mechanic feels like it exists to keep you logging in, not to make you want to play. It's like they forgot that people used to play Battlefield because it was fun. Oh my god. We need to stop acting as if not logging into Battlefield and Call of Duty puts you at some sort of severe disadvantage just because you missed a weekly challenge that gave you a fucking skin or something. Also, not for nothing, that's every multiplayer game now. We are in the middle of the shit slop FOMO era of online multiplayer, and the cancers that it's spread go far beyond Battlefield. Is it a criticism? Yes, but it's a criticism that you can make for any multiplayer game nowadays, and I don't think Battlefield 6 should be singled out. This is a AAA game published by EA. Genuinely, what did you think was going to happen? Do you really think if any of the previous Battlefield games had been released today instead of back then, they wouldn't have these same issues? Of course they would. The problem has nothing to do with Battlefield 6 and everything to do with greedy-ass publishers which make up the vast majority of AAA game companies. It's a valid criticism, but I'm not going to fault Battlefield 6 for doing exactly what we all knew EA was going to do. I don't mind a live service model when it's done well. Hell, even Apex or Warframe managed to make it work. Again, bullshit. I know people I grew up with who have spent thousands on Apex trying to get an heirloom. Apex can be just as egregious of a money pit as any other game. I can't speak on Warframe because I've never played it. Every game's monetization is dog shit. It sucks to see in every game, but unfortunately bitching about it on Reddit for the 10,000th time this month isn't going to fix anything because it literally never does. The only thing that truly makes a difference is not buying into the microtransactions, which you can easily do. If you don't like them, don't buy them. And finally, it's depressing, honestly. Well, what's depressing has been reading the Battlefield subreddit for the last few years. It is, without a doubt, one of the easiest non-political karma farms I can think of. All you've had to do for the last, 10 years is say Battlefield 5 bad or 2042 bad. Post, receive karma, win. Whatever. Now look, I'm not here to glaze Battlefield or EA because like I said, there's plenty of things that do need fixing. But it's stupid ass posts like this that distract the general populace as well as EA's social media team who actually reads this stuff from highlighting actual issues with the game. It's nothing more than bona fide doom posting for the sake of digital clout and ironically enough, engagement bait. Props to you, LP, you've certainly earned those awards. So, moving on from that absolute peach of a shit post, let's look at another popular post. Battlefield 6 is still great. Reddit is just miserable. You know what? I couldn't have said it any better myself. Goes to show that even in Battlefield's own subreddit, there's plenty of people who also find this behavior annoying. I swear, the only people still using the sub are the anti-pre-order crowd who has been sitting around waiting for any reason to say I told you so. I agree. They're like toxic ex-girlfriends waiting for you to slip up, trying to justify why they cheated on you. Now sure, I can understand why people would be hesitant to pre-order after the overwhelmingly negative reception 2042 got, but there were tons of people who treated it as some sort of active virtue signaling to not pre-order the game. Nobody cared that you didn't pre-order back then, nobody cares now. It isn't some sort of Gandhi-like act to not pre-order a fucking game. Either do it or don't. You're not a martyr because you didn't boot Battlefield 6 up right when it launched. And, I mean, if the day one player counts on Steam are anything to signify, about 75% of those people who said they weren't gonna pre-order were completely full of shit regardless. The player count continues to be great, feedback great, and the game is still fun. I have a blast every time I boot it up. Now, for the most part, I also agree with this. There's certainly been times where this game has made me rage, and I do question whether or not I truly enjoy it as much as I thought, but once that hot-headedness cools down, you just gotta play what you enjoy. You know, life is too short to just waste your time playing games you don't want to play because you feel like you're obligated to play them because everyone else is playing them. If you don't want to play the game, don't play the game. However, if you look on Reddit, you would think that Battlefield 6 has 1,000 players left with a 3.6 user rating and everyone hates it. Yep. Plus, things like Steam reviews are insanely unreliable when you have people who are willing to review bomb a game because a character has a purple fucking armband. It is the most fickle thing I have ever seen. Next post. Here's a real doozy. Oh my god, I almost fell out of my chair laughing when I read this one. It reads like a fucking video script. And I would know because I'm writing one. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was AI. It certainly reads like it is. This post is called The Bait and Switch of Battlefield 6. Oh boy. Nothing illustrates the drastic tonal shift of Battlefield 6 from launch to Season 1 better than these two images. The launch branding felt like the core Battlefield we've all missed. The 4 anonymous soldiers, seen only from behind, communicated that this game is about nameless fighters thrown into all-out war. The gritty, desaturated color palette set the tone. A squad caught in the chaos, witnessing a massive event unfold. Exactly the kind of cinematic warfare moments Battlefield fans love. Alright, Roger Ebert, calm down. This is a reach Shaq couldn't even touch. Ah yes, I sure miss the 4 anonymous soldiers seen from behind. That is exactly what I think of when I think of Battlefield. This statement is exceptionally stupid since every Battlefield cover which faces soldiers on it, aside from 2, has had one single soldier with their face clearly visible seen from the front. Now, are you seriously going to sit here and tell me the Season 1 artwork doesn't feel Battlefield enough? Badass looking soldiers surrounded by destruction with a giant orange lens flare and tanks and explosions isn't enough for you to call it Battlefield? Look, I'll concede and agree with your general point that I think the launch art does look more badass, but to sit here and act like the Season 1 art isn't following the same artistic tropes as every other Battlefield cover we've seen for a decade, well, you're either blind or this really is an AI post. If anything, it's more like the old Battlefields than the launch art. Now look, just as a nightcap, I understand that people have their own criticisms, and on a website like Reddit, you're going to get people with differing opinions from my own. It isn't that I like the idea of there being skins, I don't really like or dislike it. Maybe it's because I've put hundreds of hours into games like Battlefield 1 as well as something like Modern Warfare 3, that things like complaining about being able to put skins on a defibrillator seem completely pointless when there's people being unfairly banned for things that other people have said in game chat. Or the fact that I don't even have the time to go downstairs and take a piss before the next match starts. BF6 having things like a store and skins were inevitable. This is an EA game. And the blessing among the forest of curses, which adding things like skins and in-game cosmetic microtransactions, is that you don't have to buy any of it. You don't have to put a camo on your defibs if you don't want to. Nobody's forcing you to pay for that skin you bought, or even one you unlocked in the battle pass for free. Sure, it'd be nicer to have more options on normal-looking soldier skins, but the game isn't even a month old yet. It just feels like such a waste of time to be complaining about things as trivial as colors. And yes, the prices in the store are ridiculous. $20 for a pack in a game that's at least $70 is total bullshit. So what do? You don't give them your $20. It is as simple. Hello, it's as simple as that. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you for the next one, which should be pretty soon. Peace.